In a quiet village, surrounded by green hills and a winding river, there lived an old woman named Amma. She had silver hair, a face full of wrinkles, and eyes that sparkled with kindness. Though she lived alone in a small house near a great banyan tree, she was never lonely. The villagers adored her because she always had a warm smile and a kind word, no matter how hard life was. The people of the village worked tirelessly. Some were farmers, others were carpenters, and many sold goods in the market. But life was not easy. There were times when the rains did not come and the crops dried up. Other times, sickness spread, leaving families struggling to survive. Worries filled the hearts of many, but Amma always remained peaceful. One evening, a young woman named Meera arrived at Amma's doorstep. Her eyes were red from crying, and her hands trembled as she held her shawl tightly around her shoulders. "Amma," she whispered, "I don't know what to do. My husband Arjun went to the city to find work, but he hasn't sent any money. My children are hungry and I feel so helpless." Amma gestured for Meera to sit beside her under the banyan tree. "Tell me, child," she said gently, "what do you believe will happen?" Meera hesitated. "I fear the worst. What if Arjun can't find work? What if he forgets about us?" Amma chuckled softly. "Meera, when we fill our hearts with fear, we invite sorrow. But when we choose hope, we find strength. Let me tell you a story." Meera wiped her tears and listened closely. Long ago, there was a man named Hari. He had lost everything, his home, his family, and his money. One day, he sat by the river, tears streaming down his face. An old woman passing by stopped and asked, "Why are you crying, my son?" Hari sobbed, "I have nothing. How can I be happy?" The old woman smiled and pointed around him. "Do you see the river? It flows without stopping. Do you see the trees? They stand tall even after the storms. Do you feel the sun? It warms you even on your worst days. You are not alone. If you spend your days thinking of what you have lost, you will never see the gifts life has given you." Hari listened. He lifted his head and noticed the beauty around him, the golden light of the sunset, the laughter of children playing nearby, the sweet scent of blooming flowers. That day, something changed within him. He decided to focus on what he had instead of what he lacked. Slowly, his life began to improve. Amma looked at Meera and smiled. "Do you see, my dear? Life did not change for Hari because of magic. It changed because he changed his thinking. When we choose to see the good, our hearts become lighter, and we find solutions instead of despair." Meera frowned. "But Amma, how can I think positively when my children are hungry?" Amma placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Wake up each morning and tell yourself, today will be a good day. When you believe in hope, you will find the strength to work harder, to care for your children, and to wait for Arjun with a steady heart. If you fill your days with fear, you will only feel weaker. But if you fill them with hope, you will grow stronger." Meera nodded slowly, letting Amma's words sink in. "I will try," she said. As time passed, Meera shared her story with others in the village. More and more people came to Amma for advice, seeking comfort and wisdom. The old woman gave them all the same guidance. Think good thoughts and good will come. And so the village changed. People began to start their mornings with gratitude instead of worry. They faced hardships with courage instead of fear. Though life was still full of challenges, the power of positive thinking had transformed their hearts, giving them strength, resilience, and hope. Moral of the story: our thoughts shape our lives. When we choose hope, we invite strength. When we think positively, we find the power to overcome any hardship. From that day on, Meera made a choice. She would start each morning with a hopeful heart. Instead of drowning in worry, she focused on what she could do. She worked harder in the fields, learned to sew clothes for extra money, and leaned on her friends in the village for support. One afternoon, as she was gathering firewood, her neighbor Ramesh approached her. "Meera, you seem different these days," he said. "You used to be so worried, but now you look stronger." Meera smiled. "I still have problems, Ramesh, but Amma taught me that thinking positively makes me braver. I have faith that things will get better." Weeks passed. One evening, as Meera was preparing dinner, her eldest son ran into the house, waving a letter excitedly. "Mother, it's from Father." With shaking hands, Meera opened the letter. Tears of joy filled her eyes as she read Arjun's words. He had found a good job and was sending money home. He would return soon. Overwhelmed with happiness, Meera rushed to Amma's house and threw her arms around the old woman. "Amma, you were right. Arjun found work and he is sending money." Amma chuckled, her eyes twinkling. "You see, my dear, when we think positively, we open the door for good things to come. Life will always have challenges, but with a hopeful heart, we can face them and overcome them." As time passed, Meera shared her story with others in the village. More and more people came to Amma for advice, seeking comfort and wisdom. The old woman gave them all the same guidance. Think good thoughts and good will come. And so the village changed. People began to start their mornings with gratitude instead of worry. They faced hardships with courage instead of fear. Though life was still full of challenges, the power of positive thinking had transformed their hearts, giving them strength, resilience, and hope. Moral of the story: our thoughts shape our lives. When we choose hope, we invite strength. When we think positively, we find the power to overcome any hardship.